What's going on today, guys? We're back with another air fryer recipe. And I think a lot of you guys are liking these air fryer recipes, but comment below. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Should we keep doing them? Let us know. Today, we have a really simple one. Quick, you mix it all together in one bowl. It is an air fryer cookie. That seems weird, right? The air fryer biscuits we made also seemed really weird, but you guys love that one. So we're gonna give this one a try. I think it'll be good. Pretty simple ingredients. You should have all these at home. The one you might not have, if you're kind of new to keto, is going to be these chocolate chips. So these are Lily's brand chocolate chips. And these are now available at Sprouts, at Whole Foods, on the internet, on Amazon and stuff. And it's basically chocolate chips, but instead of using sugar, it uses erythritol, stevia. It's good for low carb baking. To start, what we have here is a tablespoon of butter melted. This is the foundation. We're gonna add everything to this little bowl. A tablespoon of erythritol. We're gonna add that. Now that is a good low carb sweetener. That's what we use in almost all of our recipes in combination with stevia. So we're gonna do 10 drops of stevia as well. If you want it sweeter, you can add more. Optional, we're gonna add a little vanilla. Vanilla is actually kind of the trademark flavor of chocolate chip cookies. So about a half teaspoon. We're gonna use the tandem. Almond flour, 1/2 cup. Coconut flour, just 2 teaspoons. So let's get that 1/2 cup of almond flour in there. And the reason for using both, it's hard to really describe, but having done this for so long, you really can't compare when you're using just almond flour. It just doesn't come out as good because coconut flour adds like a little bit of like breadiness to it. Otherwise, it's just not as good. I don't know. So 2 teaspoons, just a very little amount. This also helps thicken it a lot. Coconut flour is much more absorbent than almond flour. A pinch of salt, that's also gonna be optional. Just a little splash of baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon. And then last is gonna be a room temperature egg. Having it at room temperature just lets everything mix together a lot easier. Now you just gotta mix it all together. Should be a pretty thick dough. So whenever you're baking with coconut flour, it's always important to let it sit for a few minutes and it will thicken up a little bit more. So we're gonna let that happen. And I'm gonna add the chocolate chips in at the end. I'm gonna fold them in. In the meantime, we gotta get a piece of parchment paper cut to cover the bottom of this air fryer. So I'll link this one below. This is a Ninja brand. I like it. It's the only one I've ever tried though. There's probably better ones out there. But this one, my one complaint with this one is that the basket is a little small. So like it's hard to cook for 2 people in here. You can get really cute with this and like, this is what Mega does. She like traces the air fryer, cuts a perfect circle. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut like kind of a circle. That will work though. Wow, that's actually pretty good. One thing though, you're gonna wanna preheat the air fryer. Don't put the parchment paper in until the air fryer is preheated. So I'm gonna preheat the air fryer to 350 degrees. Give it like 1 or 2 minutes. So while the air fryer is preheating, you can see this has thickened up a decent amount. So what I'm gonna do, for presentation purposes, I'm gonna add most of the chocolate chips. Save a few. We're gonna mix those in. Then I'm gonna plop the batter out onto the parchment paper here. I can just imagine Gordon Ramsay getting a hold of this recipe and really just tearing into it. Forward this to Gordon Ramsay, guys. I would love to have him comment on this. He's like, you guys are making air fryers, cookies? You idiots. Flatten it out a little bit. To get this to flatten out a little easier, I'm gonna put another piece of parchment paper over it and just press it out. You wanna hit about a 1/4 inch thickness. There we go. And now I'm just gonna sprinkle these remaining chocolate chips on top. Take out the basket, pop in the cookie. Let's see what happens. 10 minutes at 350. So it turns out air fryers vary in their cooking temperature and techniques dramatically because this took 4 minutes. We must have a hyper-powered air fryer over here. On other air fryers, it seems to take up to 10 minutes. So keep an eye on it. We can kind of smell like it seemed like it was cooking kind of fast, maybe almost starting to burn. We checked on it. It's cooked all the way through. You can see the top was starting to brown a little bit, so we pulled the plug on it. 4 minutes only. Oh yeah, that's done. Very done. Look at that. This is a quick dessert if I've ever seen one. This is almost on the level of mug cakes for quickness. We can get in here, we can see how it looks. I'll break it in half. Feeling a little bready for sure. So this is on the breadier side. Bready's not a good way to describe a cookie, but that's just being real. It feels a little bready, soft. Yeah, it's definitely a soft batch cookie, although when it cools, it might harden up a little bit. Really hot. Let's give this a try. Takes me back to my childhood. We had this one neighbor. It was actually my friend's sister. She would just like randomly, she was like 10 years old, randomly, she would just make chocolate chip cookies and they were like the best ever. Like 8 years later, we realized she was just following the directions on the back of the Toll House chocolate chips, which those are some of the best cookies. That's a good cookie recipe. But this, it's not as good, but it's right up there. It's really good. Really good, really quick. This would be great for a movie night. Or like lately we've been watching this show on Netflix, Rhythm and Flow. It's like American Idol, but for rappers. You know, make one of these, split it. Recipe link is below. Keep an eye on it though. Check out your air fryer, get to know your air fryer, form a bond with it, know how long it takes to cook things. Ours is very quick, yours might be a lot slower. So just keep that in mind. Give this a try. Recipe link is in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.